Hello and welcome back to Justice for Olivier Panis in Formula 197, and round 17 brings us to Portugal and Estoril, which hosted the Portuguese Grand Prix from 1984 to 1996. Yet here we are rocking up in 1997. I'll get to why we're still racing here this season in just a moment, but first of all I want to say that charity predictions are now closed. Thank you so much to everyone who's gotten involved throughout the season. I really appreciate it. In the final round we will reveal how you can donate and the exact charity it's going to. I've just said that I'm going to pick one that's going to help Ukrainian refugees. And one additional note, I put this in the description, but I also want to make it super clear here. There's no pressure if you have previously pledged and then find yourself unable to give at this point. I appreciate this series has run for a long period of time. Your circumstances might have changed. Many parts of the world are going through a cost of living crisis. So yeah, if you aren't able to give to charity because you just can't afford it, there's absolutely no pressure. That is fine. It's a cliche, but charity does begin at home. Look after yourselves first. If you are able to, just give what you can. It doesn't matter if it wasn't what was pledged. But for now, let's carry on with the Grand Prix that never happened. So, why is the 1997 Portuguese Grand Prix in this game but didn't actually happen? Well, the best explanation actually exists in the game manual. And also, who's on the back? They know. They know. So, on page 10 of the manual, there is a little note about the Grand Prix circuits. Well, I'll say no, there's 3 full paragraphs, and it reads, in May 1997, it was proposed by the FIA that the last Grand Prix of the season at Estoril in Portugal would be cancelled. The reason being that work required on the track to bring it into line with 1997 safety regulations could not be completed on time. Part of the proposal was that Jerez in southern Spain be brought in as the circuit to replace Estoril. However, a statement issued by the FIA several days later suggested that the Portuguese Grand Prix could possibly go ahead. Then there's a full-on quote from Reuters from May 17th, 1997, from the FIA, basically saying that they're looking to, have the race in. And then the final paragraph says, at the time of writing, the FIA would not comment on whether it might reinstate the Estoril race on October 26th, or perhaps even add it to the calendar if the improvements were completed in time. Because this issue is still unresolved, both Jerez and Estoril are included in Formula 197. This would be quite a unique occurrence to have a race that didn't actually happen in real life appear in the official game of the season. Unique until F1 2020, that is, where that's pretty much what the entire game is. It's just races that didn't happen. There's even a track in there that F1 never visited. Ever. However, the next best comparison for us is the 1996 qualifying session where Damon Hill put his Williams on pole by 9 thousandths of a second, beating his teammate and championship rival Jacques Villeneuve. Panis still with the same team, but obviously it was Ligier, because Prost hadn't taken over the team yet. He qualified 15th ahead of teammate Pedro Diniz in 18th. That's not going to be my target though. After the heroics of Suzuka, I want to try and stay close to the front to keep things tight for Jerez so we can still hopefully nick that 3rd place off Frentzen. So my target is going to try and be getting the top 10. If we can be in amongst it, that'll be fine. So top 10 quali, please and thank you. Well, manners cost nothing, but they also mean nothing. It's down to me to deliver. So as you can see, the gap between the 96 pole and the game target, quite hefty, almost 9 seconds. I've been doing 112.5s, which is a lot closer than I thought, but I leave it to the final lap to deliver. So, curve 1, just a dab on the brake, and then you can go pretty much flat through. This curve 2, you can take flat, but actually here I needed a little let off the throttle to get through. Curve 3, I go in a bit too deep, and actually how I should take these corners is like I take Curve VIP now, brake early, and then just constant dabs of the throttle so I can build up the power and get on it early, just, hug the inside. Now I know we're not a Jerez yet, but I decided to do my tribute early by getting the exact same first sector time. Don't think we're going to see some matching times in the real final qualifying, but we'll see. Now Sector 2 I think is going to be a weak one for us. The AI will be quick through these corners, don't do well there on a railha, but at Gancho we can do well. Make sure I don't brake too late, it's easy to overshoot. Clip the first one, take a little bit of the second one, if you get too much it bounces you wide, and then into the S's. This is all about setting up the right line for the final corner, parabolica right in the centre. Get the line right and you only need to let off the throttle once. Get it wrong, it's a couple times, maybe more. I've got a good line through and I can already tell heading to the line this is going to be quicker. The question is, how much? Oh. Oh. Big final lap. In practice, I was like mid 113s. Then for the long part of qualifying, mid 112s. Got into the high 111s. Where does that get us? To 110 from Villeneuve. Schumacher second, Frentzen third, Berger fourth, but we are fifth. We are in it. We are just behind Frentzen again. Oh, that was an important final lap, because I think I would have been... Oh, I think I would have been 8th if I hadn't cut in that final lap. I think it would have been 9th, actually, behind Schumacher, between the two Jordans. So we are in a weird situation where we have no race to compare it to. So I want to shout out to the last ever Portuguese Grand Prix to be held at Estoril in 1996. It was won by Jacques Villeneuve. Damon Hill came second, and it basically meant it took the championship fight to the final round in Suzuka, and Damon Hill went on to win that race and the title famously. But the main reason I want to bring up Portugal 96 is because of Villeneuve's amazing overtake around the final corner, the parabolica, around the outside of the then world champion Michael Schumacher. Remember, Villeneuve, it was only his, I think, 15th or 16th race? 15th race, I think it would have been, in Formula One, and he did that to Schumacher. I don't think we're going to have the same sort of race pace as we had in Japan. So, honestly, it's got to be just try and get ahead of Frentzen, finish ahead of Frentzen, no matter what that is. That could be, do we get to third? Does he drop? And we just finish ahead of Frentzen. That is all that matters today. So we can hopefully get ourselves in the right position going into the final round at Jerez. Welcome to Estoril's final bout in Formula One. The 1997 Portuguese Grand Prix is go, and that wasn't a terrible start, but we still lose places. We're down 6, still in the points. But straight on the attack, background, hopefully the outside of a Irvine, up the inside of a Lacey. Great move. Unfortunately, it is, oh no, it is a 1-2 for Williams. We get on the grass. Fortunately, a Lacey stuck behind us, and we hold 4th. Oh dear. Okay, we've at least gained places off the start. We have some clear road ahead of us. Let's see where on the track we gain and lose the time. Again, it's a circuit with quite a few of these longer sweeping corners that, yep, I'm not a fan of, that the AI are good at. But there are a few moments of respite. This, I imagine, being one of them. Gancho, sort of reverse corkscrew. Oh, so frustrating that it is indeed. Frentzen up into second off the start. And Schumacher needs to get moving for the title fight. He needs to get up ahead of Villeneuve. I'm pretty sure Jacques Villeneuve could win the title today if he does not, if Schumacher doesn't get ahead of him. In the current situation, he's absolutely losing.
And the gap is closing.
It's good to see and good to hear. Just focus on it one corner at a time.
Race order. In first place, Williams number 1. Second, Heinz-harald Frentzen. In third position, Michael Schumacher. In fourth, Olivier Panis.
So yeah, very much lose time through the middle sector. What's our final sector like? Slight gain, slight gain. So the first sector is where it's all at. The question is, will we ever get close enough to make a move, or will we be in like a perpetual state where we're just not quite close enough? because we finally get onto the back of Schumacher, and then we go through 2 corners that are absolutely awful for us. Into Gancho. Oh, bit deep into Gancho that time round.
He's dropping back a bit.
We do seem a bit closer this time around though, so it's going to be slow and steady. Maximum concentration. Can we get in the slipstream for the next corner? We might have a chance. I'm going for it. Too late, bit too late, damn. Okay, not bad. Still with him. That's the important thing right now. Much tidier that time through Gancho. Good run out of Parabolica. This might be the move. We're alongside if we can get back on the racing line before turn 1. We do. Let's get it stopped. Excellent. Right, let's not break our stride. I know he's going to be all over us for obviously this next sector. Oh, my thumbs hurt so much. It seems like a really, really intensive track on the thumbs. So that is the gap to Frentzen. That is what we are trying to pull in essentially the second half of this race. Good exit from Parabolica. Give ourselves a bit of breathing room. Okay, gotta focus. Bit of a messy first sector that time around. Not surprised I've not shut the gap. Ooh, that was a scary one. He's so much quicker through that middle sector than Schumacher was, and than I am. Oh, he's got the measure of us at the minute.
What's happened? There are only 3 laps left in this race now.
Does make you wonder what could have been if I'd just not got caught on the inside curb of turn 2 on lap 1. Could I've been closer and made those moves? Because at the minute Frentzen is just doing an excellent job of holding us at arm's length. Oh. Pushing it a bit too hard there. Overshot into Gancho. don't think that was a critical mistake. I don't think we would have exactly caught him if I'd got that corner right. I think the damage was done on lap 1.
He's dropping back a bit.
Well, it's disappointing we've not been able to get past Frentzen, but he got the move done at turn 1.
Positions are.
He's got into second, held it, and driven perfectly since then.
Heinz-harald
That's that little mistake at turn 1,
Panis.
after fighting our way up to 4th, just might have cost us. But again, I've got to be really happy with the drive. Looking at the layout of the track, I did not think we'd do well here. But to qualify 5th and then work our way up to another podium, solid result. I'm pretty sure we've just seen Jacques Villeneuve retake his 97 championship. Has 3rd been decided as well? So it is a Williams 1-2, Villeneuve from Frentzen. Just 2 seconds between them. He wasn't that far up the road. We managed to finish 3rd, just over 4 seconds behind Frentzen in the end, from Schumacher and then Benetton, both of them in the points, Alesi and Berger. I could have at least gotten past Frentzen. I could have been opportunistic there and then held on, but hey-ho. A solid performance. We weren't far off the pace, and that was a really good race. It was really tense. So in the drivers, it is confirmed with a round to go, Jacques Villeneuve is the 1997 Formula 1 World Champion. And to be honest, never really in doubt. He's led the whole way through, won in Australia. I don't think the gap's ever been less than like 6 points at any point. I think literally the closest anyone was to him was after round 1, and he's just pulled away. Incredible performance. He wins it after 17 rounds, like he does in real life, but unlike in real life, we still have 1 race left. Schumacher confirmed in 2nd. The gap between us and Frentzen is 4 points going into the final round, so it is not insurmountable, but it's a tough one to overhaul. In the meantime, Alesi's 5th place means he's only 4 points behind Irvine, so he is looking to still do a little cheeky overhaul on Irvine for 5th, so still things to be decided in the top 6 of this championship, but it's outside opportunities. In the Constructors, as we know, the top 2 has very much been confirmed, but now the top 3 has been confirmed. Prost, 3rd, ahead of Benetton, ahead of Jordan, ahead of, well, I hope he'd be ahead of Arrows, but Arrows is doing really well, ahead of McLaren. The big story in the Constructors is Jordan still 5th, Arrows still 6th. From what I can remember, McLaren still only have 7 points. I think the last time anyone scored for McLaren was Coulthard, 6th in Austria. So unless McLaren gets 6 points in the final round, Arrows, what a result that could be. At long last, we are finally here though. The final round, 18th and final round, the real final round in the actual season, the European Grand Prix at Jerez. The championship is already decided, but can we still nick 3rd place from Heinz-harald Frentzen? It would be an incredible result for Panis, considering that he was 3rd when he had his crash at Montreal. Could we get back that 3rd place he lost before injury? Or do we have to settle for 4th, which even still, in this car, I think is a hell of an achievement, considering Williams and Ferrari are just a level above. So much to look forward to, but thank you so much for watching. I hope you've enjoyed the series so far. It all ends next time in Jerez, and there's going to be no controversy whatsoever. At least from Villeneuve and Schumacher. Can't speak for anywhere else though.